Welcome to your rich life, not tomorrow, not one day, not at some distant future point when circumstances align, but here now, in this very moment of awareness. The richness of life is not something you chase. It is not an achievement waiting for you at the end of a long road. It is already present, already alive within you, waiting for your recognition. You do not stumble into abundance, you awaken to it. The key to unlocking your rich life is not found outside you. It lies in the secret chamber of your imagination, in the invisible realm where all things are born before they appear. Your life is always a mirror reflecting what you hold true within yourself. If the reflection displeases you, you do not break the mirror, you change the image you project. The outer world is but a shadow, a servant to the inner state you dwell in. And so, if you would welcome wealth, if you would walk freely in the garden of abundance, you must first feel yourself rich within. Not rich in the sense of coins or bills alone, but rich in mind, rich in love, rich in gratitude, rich in the certainty that you already possess all that you desire. For the one who knows they are rich cannot help but experience richness at every turn. Imagine yourself now stepping into that life. Not a faint wish, not a timid hope, but a bold assumption. Feel the weight of gold in your hand. See the evidence of prosperity surrounding you. Hear the sound of your own voice speaking as one who has more than enough. You must claim this state not by effort but by being. The world responds faithfully to your inner conviction. If you persist in assuming lack, the world will confirm lack. If you persist in assuming wealth, the world must yield wealth. What you are within you cannot hide, for life will echo it back. Every man and woman is self-made, though not always self-aware. You are shaping your destiny at every moment, weaving the threads of imagination into the tapestry of experience. The beggar and the king are both actors on the stage of consciousness. One plays poverty because he identifies with it. The other plays abundance because he has dared to imagine it real. Their conditions differ, but the law is the same. Life does not choose favorites. Life answers belief. There is no power outside your mind that decides whether you shall be poor or wealthy, free or bound, happy or sorrowful. The power is within you. The secret is in what you accept as true of yourself. Do you accept yourself as one worthy of wealth, health, love, and freedom? Or do you cling to an old story of limitation and lack? You cannot welcome your rich life while clinging to the garments of poverty. You must strip yourself of that identity and clothe yourself in the feeling of abundance. The rich life is not a promise, it is a principle. It is not given to some and withheld from others. It is available to all who dare to assume it. You must live in the end. You must occupy the state of the wish fulfilled. Speak from it, think from it, act from it. When you close your eyes tonight, imagine the scene that would be true if you were already living your rich life. Let it be so vivid that you cannot help but feel it real. And as you drift into sleep, carry that feeling with you, for in sleep the door is opened, and your imagination impresses itself upon the deeper layers of reality. Do not think for a moment that this is mere fantasy. The world you see today was once a dream held by someone yesterday. Every building, every invention, every fortune began as an image unseen. The difference between the dreamer who lives in abundance and the dreamer who lives in want is not luck but faith. Faith in the unseen reality that imagination creates. When you welcome your rich life in imagination and persist in that welcome, the world has no choice but to conform. Now I ask you, what does wealth feel like to you? Not just the appearance, not the numbers in a bank, but the essence. Does it feel like freedom, the freedom to choose without fear? Does it feel like generosity, the ability to give without restraint? Does it feel like peace, the quiet knowing that all is well? Whatever wealth means to you, begin to feel it now. For wealth is not a matter of possession but perception. You are as rich as you feel yourself to be. The man who feels lack though surrounded by millions is poor. The man who feels abundance though holding but little is rich. And soon the outer will catch up with the inner, for the seed of feeling always bears fruit. There is no use waiting for conditions to change. Conditions are the shadow, imagination is the substance. If you would change the shadow, change the substance. If you would change the outer, change the inner. Begin now to see yourself living as the wealthy one you desire to be. Refuse the old thoughts of lack. Refuse the voice that says it is not possible. For with imagination all things are possible. This rich life is not a future event, it is a present state. The more you claim it now, the sooner you will see its evidence tomorrow. Every time you imagine, you are sowing seeds. Sow the seeds of wealth and you will reap wealth. Sow the seeds of freedom and you will reap freedom. But remember this, you cannot sow one thing and expect to reap another. You cannot dwell in poverty within and hope for riches without. The law is unfailing. The harvest reflects the seed. Do not make the mistake of measuring your progress by appearances. Appearances always lag behind imagination. What you imagine today, you may not see tomorrow, but if you persist, it must appear. Do not be deceived by the delay. The law is sure. The seed is growing beneath the surface, unseen by the eye but inevitable in its fruit. Your task is not to force the harvest but to remain faithful to the assumption of wealth. So let us practice now. Close your eyes in the secret chamber of your mind. Picture yourself standing in the midst of your rich life. See the surroundings as you would see them if your desire were fulfilled. Feel the atmosphere, the ease, the joy, the security. Hear the words of friends congratulating you. Hear your own laughter rising from a place of abundance. Do not merely see it, inhabit it. Step into the scene and let it become your reality. And as you open your eyes, carry that feeling with you. This is the art of welcoming. This is the doorway to your rich life. You have been conditioned to believe that wealth is hard, that success is rare, that abundance belongs only to a chosen few. But the truth is, the chosen are simply those who choose. They choose to imagine differently. They choose to believe in their own power. They choose to assume the state of wealth. You are no less capable, no less worthy, no less powerful than they. The difference lies only in your choice. Will you continue to choose lack, or will you now choose abundance? Life bends to your inner assumption. Choose wisely, and life will mirror that choice. Say within yourself, now I am rich. Not I will be, not I hope to be, not I want to be, but I am. Speak it with conviction. Feel it as truth. Let that phrase settle in your being. I am rich. It is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is not boasting, it is believing. The words I am are the creative words of power. What you join to them, you give life to. When you say I am poor, you give life to poverty. When you say I am tired, you give life to weariness. But when you say I am rich, you give life to abundance. Guard these words, for they are the keys to creation. Use them with wisdom, and they will open the door to your rich life. Do not wait for someone to grant you permission. The world is not holding your wealth hostage. Your wealth is already yours in consciousness. You need only claim it. The man who waits for the world to give is forever waiting. The man who claims from within is forever receiving. So claim now, not timidly, but boldly. For your Father delights in giving you the kingdom, and the kingdom is within you. And when doubts arise, as they will, do not argue with them. Simply return to your vision. Feel again the joy of wealth. Rest again in the assurance of abundance. Doubt is powerless unless you feed it. Persist in your assumption, and doubt will fade. Persist in your vision, and reality will bend. When you step into the feeling of wealth, you no longer ask when or how it will come, because in your imagination it already has. You are not waiting for proof. You are living in the proof. The outer evidence must follow, but it is the shadow, not the substance. The substance is your assumption. And as you persist, that assumption becomes the unseen law shaping every event, every encounter, every opportunity until the outer aligns with the inner. The one who waits for outer confirmation is always a servant to appearances. The one who dares to live from inner conviction is always the master of appearances. Your rich life is not about possessions alone, it is about perspective. To the poor in spirit, no amount of possessions is enough. To the rich in spirit, everything is already enough, and so more is drawn to them. When you know you are rich, you carry yourself differently. You speak with confidence, you walk with ease, you attract with certainty. Even before the outer world confirms your wealth, the inner world reveals it. That inner assurance is magnetic, irresistible, unstoppable. People feel it around you, doors open before you, paths clear beneath you, not because the world has suddenly changed, but because you have. Think now of the moments in your past when you longed for something desperately, only to find it come to you after you stopped worrying and began living as though you already had it. That is the secret. Desire is the spark, but assumption is the fire. When you hold desire without assumption, it is longing. When you clothe desire with assumption, it is manifestation. You do not beg life for wealth, you assume wealth as already yours, and life yields. Consider the child who plays at being a king. In his imagination, he is not pretending he is ruling. He gives orders and his playmates obey. He walks with dignity, and his heart is filled with majesty. Though he holds no crown, in his imagination he wears it, and for that moment he is every bit a king. You must return to that childlike power, for in imagination you create reality. Become as the child, daring to believe, daring to assume, daring to live the role of wealth. And you will see that the world cannot help but mirror your play. What is the difference between the wealthy one and the one in lack? The wealthy one has made peace with the feeling of wealth. He does not resist it, he does not doubt it, he does not question it. He accepts it as natural. And because it feels natural, it flows to him effortlessly. The one in lack rejects the feeling of wealth, resists it, doubts it, and therefore keeps it at a distance. The difference is not in fortune or fate, the difference is in acceptance. Can you accept the feeling of being wealthy? Can you let it become so natural that you no longer strive for it, but live from it? Every day is an opportunity to practice. As you rise in the morning, before the mind floods with the noise of the world, pause and feel yourself wealthy. Not just in money, but in all things. Say to yourself, I am overflowing with abundance. I am surrounded by riches. I am the embodiment of wealth. Let that be your first thought. As you move through the day, carry that feeling. When you see others prospering, rejoice in it, for their wealth is a mirror of your own. When challenges appear, do not collapse into lack but stand firm in your identity. For the rich life is not shaken by appearances, it is rooted in imagination. You will be tempted to measure your progress by numbers, by accounts, by possessions. Do not. Measure your progress by your faith. Measure it by how natural wealth feels within you. The outer will always follow, but the inner is the true measure. When you can walk through a barren field and feel the abundance of a golden harvest, you are rich. When you can sit in a modest room and feel the grandeur of a palace, you are rich. And soon the barren field will bloom and the modest room will expand, for the outer cannot resist the persistence of the inner. Every thought you hold is a seed. You are sowing constantly, whether in faith or in fear. If you wish to reap wealth, you must sow thoughts of wealth. Guard your mind, for it is the soil of creation. Refuse to indulge in poverty thinking. Refuse to rehearse old stories of lack. Refuse to speak words that deny your abundance. Every word, every thought, every feeling is planting. Sow only what you desire to harvest. There is no force outside you withholding abundance. The universe is not stingy, not limited, not cruel. It reflects only what you persist in imagining. If you imagine yourself shut out from wealth, then wealth will seem distant. If you imagine yourself embraced by wealth, then wealth will draw near. The universe has no choice but to agree with the image you project. The law is impersonal, unchanging, unfailing. It is not a matter of deserving or earning. It is a matter of assuming and persisting. Do not confuse wealth with greed. Greed is the hunger born of fear, the grasping of one who feels empty inside. Wealth is fullness overflowing. It is generosity, joy, and freedom. To live your rich life is to live in the awareness of abundance so great that you cannot help but give. The more you give, the more you receive, for giving is proof of wealth. The poor in spirit cannot give without fear of loss. The rich in spirit give because they know there is no end to their supply. When you live in this state, you will notice synchronicities, doors opening where none seem possible, opportunities arriving in ways you could not plan. Do not dismiss these as coincidence. They are the outpicturing of your inner assumption. As you persist in wealth, the world conspires to support that wealth. Friends appear, ideas come, circumstances shift. This is not magic in the childish sense, it is the law of consciousness in action. And yet many sabotage themselves because they cannot hold the feeling. They imagine wealth in a moment, but when the outer appears unchanged, they fall back into lack. They dig up the seed before it can grow. Do not do this. Once you have assumed the feeling, let it be. Trust it. Live from it. Just as you would not plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow, so you must allow your assumption time to bear fruit. The harvest is sure, but patience is required. As you go to sleep at night, do not drift into worry. Do not rehearse the troubles of the day. Instead, take the opportunity to sow. Enter the state of wealth. Imagine the scene that would imply your desire fulfilled. Feel the satisfaction of it. Let that be your final thought. For in sleep, your imagination is most fertile. What you plant there will take root deeply. The night is not a time of escape, but of creation. Use it wisely and your days will overflow with riches. The rich life is a life of assumption, not of effort. It is not about working harder, struggling longer, pushing further. It is about resting in the state of the wish fulfilled. Effort may produce results, but assumption produces miracles. When you know within yourself that you are wealthy, the right opportunities, the right actions, the right ideas flow effortlessly. You are not striving to make it happen, you are aligning with what is already true. Begin to notice the subtle shift in your experience as you live this way. A sense of peace replaces worry. A sense of gratitude replaces longing. A sense of certainty replaces doubt. These are the signs that you are inhabiting wealth within. And as surely as the dawn follows the night, the outer world will catch up with your inner state. Never underestimate the power of a single assumption held faithfully. One idea, one conviction can transform an entire life. Say within yourself now, I am wealthy, and persist until it feels natural. That single assumption will rearrange your world in ways you cannot predict. People will appear, doors will open, paths will unfold, all because you dare to assume. And so do not wait. Do not postpone your rich life until some future day. Welcome it now, live in it now, breathe it, feel it, assume it. For life is always now. The past is gone, the future is unborn, but the now is rich with possibility. Choose in this moment to be wealthy, and every moment that follows will echo that choice.